Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is 8:18 by our reckoning. Apologies, we are a little bit behind schedule this evening. My lovely wife had to finish up a course, a university course, so she's done now, so we're getting started. I am Ian, it's my lovely wife.
Rachel, I almost cut you off.
We are of Big Family Life in the Simpson Family Home, and 4Fs with the Simpson Family. 4Fs representing faith, family, food, and fitness. Faith, because we believe we can do all things through Him who loves us. Family, because aside from God, there's no one more important on this earth. Food, because food is medicine. And fitness, because we believe overall wellness can be achieved by pursuing and maintaining a strong mind, soul, and body. Hence the 4Fs, and we're just out here manifesting our best lives using the 4Fs system. So this segment. If you know us, you know this is real talk. This is where we kind of just dive into those real world issues that we had to overcome on our own personal journeys, as well as on our combined journey as a blended family. This segment is going to be about our kids. You know, how we just kind of try to manage all those personalities. In this blended family, we do have 10 of them. 8 of them are here in the home with us. And we wouldn't have it any other way. I'm gonna get out the way and let my wife know.
Yeah, I liked how you said in the, our little intro, whatever, in the, during the day, and it's like they are our favorite people. It's like I always like that one. It's like our little broke best friends.
Yeah, but that's what we refer them to, because whenever we go somewhere, they always want something, but they ain't never got no money. So they're our best friends, but they're those best friends that you
gotta pay,
right? You got. They're our little broke best friends.
Yeah, and they are like they are our favorite people.
Watch your head, baby. You're gonna stand up and crack yourself.
Yeah. Our house is very active. We are very,
as you can see,
things always going on. We pretty much have like 2 living rooms.
We do have 2, not pretty much.
We have 2.
Room, den, whatever.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
layout of the home, upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, so we have like space for everybody, and there's always something going on, like dishes. Oh my gosh, somebody will wash dishes, and then like 10 minutes later, there's like 10 more dishes.
Struggle's so real. I mean, they get so pissed off about that. Hey, Joey, God bless you. Great to have you back with us. I know you've been so busy with hockey and just life and everything else, so we missed you too, so it's great to have you back.
Yeah, I was like, where's these ladies?
I'm a single lady. No, that's all my ladies, just ladies. I know, single. Whatever. Awkward. Go.
So like our household is very active. Like right from I'd say about 6 a.m. Till I don't know what time the big goes to bed. Sometimes 2 a.m.
Well, there's Noah, right? Sometimes he's coming home from work at midnight and later, because he works that shift. He works a 12-hour shift, and so he needs to unwind and whatever. And I remember one night I come walking out the hallway. I was coming to grab a drink, and he when he stands in the doorway, he fill up the whole doorway, right? And I was solid though. He blindsided me, just to my blind side, and he hit the whole pantry doorway, and so. I was solid.
And he's a big guy, and he moves very quiet.
For such a big dude, I don't understand. He's 6'8", 235 pounds. He moves when he don't want to be heard.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because like once in a while, like I scare quickly, and so all of a sudden he's right there, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm almost like dropping. He's like, are you okay? And he's always just worried that because he really tries not to startle me, or not be as big, it's just startle me, because he is very quiet. However, I do get him back. So it's like a bunch of personalities in our home. And so we have from the age range of 8 up into 22.
Correct.
And we have 2 that are born in the same year, so 2. I don't want to say it's demanding, but it's also I don't want to say it's demanding. It's like it's a lot of juggling kind of when it comes to these personalities, because you have some that are introverts, you have some that are extroverts, then you have some that are just
Trying to figure out what
Where-
the heck they're trying to be and who the heck they're trying to be.
and then also like their role ambiguity. So it's like, where do they fit in within the bigger group?
Right.
Because you have
Evening, Eric. Thanks for stopping in. God bless you.
hello, and so it's you have a lot going on. So the last 2 years I would say 2 years. 2 years has been the really a lot of getting everybody together, because that's
Yeah.
when Jordan came, and
That's
then
right.
Justice came
That's right.
late last year.
That's right.
And so it's like getting them all to fit within as a group.
Right.
So you have some like Justice, he was, by himself.
You was
and
an only child for a while after Jordan left.
yeah. And so he comes in, and then like they've always seen each other. However, it's a full-time job. No, yeah.
Always said. Hey, Marcus. Thanks for stopping in. God bless you.
And so it's, where was I? Oh, yeah. So he was like the only child, and then he's gonna come in with the younger kids. Like we call them the littles and the bigs, as
Right.
we refer to them. So, he's got to find out where he fits,
Gotta find his way. Right.
and so then comes the personalities. So for Ryder, he's got to. You say this, it has to be that.
Very much like Noah. That's how Noah was.
Yeah, and then
Still is.
still, and then we have Brooke, who is 10, and she's
So artistic. She
yeah.
really is. If I had to use a word to describe her, she really appreciates movement, and she's also she very much likes to sing, and so I envision that at some point she may create a sound that matches her movement, because her movement right now is very eclectic, and
She has her own rhythm and her own beat that
Yeah. only
it's-
she can hear. Yeah, I mean, it's artistic, if not necessarily. It's artistic. It's interpretation, right? Whenever I see her move, I'm given to think of trees, the way trees, and so that's why I always want to say she's in some form of interpretive dance or something like this. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm given to.
Yeah, and so it's yeah. I don't even like if we start at one child to the oldest or smallest to the oldest. I don't know, because like with Callie, like if we
Whoa,
start with
Callie.
Callie's kind of the
Yikes!
household
Bully,
bully.
boss.
Like she takes on Noah, and Noah's not too happy with her sometimes.
Yeah.
He's, him being the oldest in the house, and she calls him out on stuff, and
Like she called him out on everything.
Yeah.
Cell phones at the table, and it's like it's a dining room table. It's a house rule. So it's like I'm sitting up here just sipping on my tea, and she's calling him out about his cell phone. And I'm
right,
just,
Dad?
and I'm just sipping on my tea, hoping she's not going to drag me into it. and then Noah gets salty and it's just I don't understand what the and it's like, and then she look at me like, and I'm like, it is the house rule, man. And she do that all the time, and like, yeah, they pretty much hate her. They don't, but
No,
as
I know,
much
it's
as
like
you
that's-
hate your baby sister, right?
Well, but
They
we don't use the word hate.
We don't.
So-
They really dislike how she is able to get away with. You know who had the hardest time with her? Oddly enough, was Jordan. Jordan, because, and he still has a hard time with it, because prior to in our previous relationship, in my previous relationship with his bio mom, he was the baby, even though he wasn't the youngest. Justice is younger numerically. However, for whatever reason, Jordan just got, maybe it was my journey Aha, right? Noah, right? It's that was my journey. That part of my healing journey was that I recognized my behavior was foul and started trying to change it. Even though I was in an adverse situation, I was trying to be better, and so as a result, Jordan benefited from that. And however, it created animosity between his older brothers, Noah, and especially Nathan and him, because they had to endure a lot of mess that Jordan just
The
didn't.
writing of the manual, I guess, the parenting manual, because like we
Fair,
said,
thank you,
our children didn't come with manuals, especially our first one,
Right.
and so we did things a lot different than we do
Right.
with our youngest.
Right.
Because,
And
because
that's
it's
growth, right?
yeah, not, yeah. I'd love to explain it like that. It's just they don't come with manuals.
Yeah.
You find out what works, and sometimes it doesn't even work for the next child.
And that's an interesting point, because back to Noah, and well, let me finish up that point very
Okay,
quickly
sorry,
with
yeah.
who were we
Jordan.
talking about? Jordan. And so Jordan got that really great treatment from me, from, you know what I mean? And so when he came here and he got that and now baby, I'm here with Callie Blue, who's now my youngest baby girl, and now he had to watch her get that treatment that he was used to getting. And I mean, we'd be sitting at the dining room table, and I'd be watching him, watching her, watching him, watching her.
And then the eyes like,
And the thing is with him, he needs to be more aware, because he is very expressive with his features, and as am I. And he just, you can, like, you see that he's not happy. However, he's working his way through it. And the thing is with Noah, when Noah first came to us over in Saint Vital, Noah actually, Eric, was hiding in the basement. Because I'd be at work, she'd be at work, the kids would come home from school at 3:30. He's the new sib in the home, 6'8", and he's afraid of these little kids, so he'd hide in the basement till I came home. And then by the time I get home at 6:30, you know what I mean, now he come making his way upstairs looking for food, and you guys are bang on. Biggest grief in our house, totally. Always trying to explain to the littles why the same rules don't apply to the bigs. Yeah, and you can't have one set of rules. You do what you want to do what works for you, do what works for you and your family. My apologies, I certainly am not sitting here trying to tell you how to live your life and how to run your household. However, what works
sorry. This is like Joey. Same rules. No, I'm kidding. I'm just
what works best for us is that, like, for instance, when we have workouts, there's what I do, then there's what Jordan does, and it goes all the way down to what Justice does, because Justice is the newest one in the home. So he's behind. We've been at this now a year, and he's only been here since October. So he's behind the curve a little bit and rapidly catching up. So there's different rules for everybody. I mean, there are red rules, absolutely. However, for instance, as an example, the cell phones at the dinner table. That applies to everyone, ourselves included. And they will call me out on it too. Well, no, only baby will call me out on it. That's a fact. That's a fact. She'll call. I don't get away with nothing. Cell phones at the dinner table, that is however, and then you look at the cell phones in the bedroom at night. Jordan and Jasmine turn their cell phones in at 10 o'clock when they go to bed. They're still in high school, and we found that they get a better sleep. Even though you don't get up to answer the phone, the constant beeping of the notifications brings you up from that deep sleep, that REM, up into those higher levels, and you're going up and down all night long, and you're feeling restless in the morning. You feel like you haven't slept. And you have, it's just that you haven't had that quality rest. So now Jasmine and Jordan, thank you, turning their phones. Noah, he grown. Keep his phone. Youngest girl always calls stuff out. Yeah, that's baby. Yeah, she the bully in the house, Eric. Absolutely. She call everybody out on every single thing. Nobody don't get away with nothing. Not even me.
And me.
Yeah. And so Noah now again, and with the workouts, the family workouts, right? Again, Noah is grown. Everybody is responsible to report to the dojo at a certain time and to get this workout in. And 2 times, Noah is grown.
It's like a
Noah
responsibility. Like we've given them a responsibility to be. That this happens at this time, because you can't teach them, or you need to teach them time management.
Right.
And then the earlier start, it's so much easier once they get older, because a little bit of that responsibility allows them to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah.
Okay, I was late. Because
And then there's consequence to that. Yesterday they ran extra laps.
I think that was on Tuesday.
Tuesday, thank you, Ryder. That's 3 laps. That's 3 extra laps. That's 4.5 kilometers after the workout. There's consequences. I mean, the rules are what they are, and everybody ran that. Where there was, go ahead, sweetheart.
there was what?
No, I was going to say something like the workouts. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The importance of the workouts is, and this is like, if you are able to do this, I highly recommend you do this. I remember a few months ago, before last summer, I was trying to impart onto the bigger boys the importance of hitting the ground running. You get up in the morning, you hit the ground running. I saw this clip, Navy SEAL. He said the first thing of the day, most important thing that you can do every day. I'm sure some of you might have seen the video. The most important thing you can do every day when you get up is to make your bed. You make your bed, that means that's the first thing on your list of things to accomplish. So you've already accomplished the first task that you set out to accomplish for that day. So the day is already a success. If you do nothing else that day, you've already accomplished your first task. And he goes on. He goes deep, right? So the first thing you need to do, you get out, you make your bed, and then you hit the ground running. Attack your day. Attack your day. And I mean, the idea is that, for me, I tell them a story last night personally. When I used to get up, like, I don't need an alarm clock anymore. I tell my mind when I need to get up, I get up. For 10 years, I worked on the railroad, and I got up at a certain time for 10 years every day. And so my body became used to that. So, however, when I get up, when I set an alarm, I set the alarm to that, because I want to get up. I'm not trying to get lulled back to sleep, those sweet, soothing, you know what I mean? So and then boom, you hit it. And so what we found, since we've, and everybody's homeschooling, what makes it more challenging, and what we found is that if we get the kids up, and everybody's up usually between 6 and 7, I told them from now on they got to stay in bed till 7, because, they'll be up at 5:30 if we let them, right? Stay in bed till 7. You get up, they're responsible to feed themselves, they're responsible to brush their teeth, they're responsible to get themselves ready for school, and then at 8:30 we got a quick workout. We got 15 minutes to stretch, and we got a 10-minute cardiovascular workout. We hit it, we get done. I'm gonna make a few videos to show you that, Joey. And then and we have done this long enough now, it's been a year, that we can say unequivocally there is a marked improvement in the kids' energy in the morning in class, their responsiveness in class, their attentiveness in class. Grades have gone up across the board. I don't need to tell you the benefits of exercise. Or maybe I do, especially in young people, right? When you instill these healthy lifestyle choices at a young age, at this very young age, you instill these healthy lifestyle choices. The hope is that they will continue this and moving forward, right? And their energy level is through the roof when they've had that exercise, and they start those endorphins, because exercise releases the endorphins, and their energy levels are through the roof. And then they're engaged, they're in the class, they're engaged, they're alert, there's no slumping, there's no nodding off, there's no none of that. Because, the adrenaline is flowing, they're pumped, they're geeked. They're ready to attack the day. And that was the whole purpose. Exercise and good sleeping patterns, Eric. Exercise and... Hey, Fluffy. Fluffy, good to see you. Yes, Puppy. That is, bring Puppy back, please. And, Justice is not, Justice is actually, went down early this evening. He's not feeling the greatest. He had a bit of a headache, and so he's resting. But this is Mercedes. This is a new friend for Bentley. And she is, maybe 10 weeks now?
No, she's only 9.
9 weeks.
It's been a week.
We've had her for a week, and she's 9, and she's just a beautiful, beautiful. She's a golden doodle, just like Bentley. And it's interesting because while Bentley looks exactly like a poodle, she looks like a golden retriever. So, and they both share a mom. Not they don't share parents, but they both their lineage. Their parents are golden retriever. Mom, dad is a poodle, standard poodle, both of them. So yeah, she's something else. Yeah, puppy, fluffy, puppy. So. Yeah, exercise and good sleeping patterns, Eric. Absolutely. And I mean, and we only ever speak on our lived life experience. And hey, Ryder, you want to show them your abs? All right, cool. Just check it. I mean, cool. I mean, what? Kid's a beast. I'm gonna make the videos for you, Joey. I promise.
Oh, Justice told the class about his puppy.
Justice, yeah. This. Oh, so you already knew about Mercedes, eh? I don't know why I'm having such a hard time keeping track of Bentley and Mercedes. I mean, you'd think I wouldn't because I named her. However, I continually call her him and want to call her Bentley. I just, it's a disconnect there. I'll work it out. Yeah, so I cannot stress that enough. Exercise, especially if you're able to, and you don't need to do 2 hours in the morning. If you have the time to do that, God bless you. You don't need to do. It only takes us half an hour because I have to stretch. If it was up to the kids, the cardio workout that we do is 10 minutes. Right, and they would be just because they're kids, they limber, you know what I mean. I'm old, I'm rusty, I can't wait to see. Yes, I'm gonna make those for you, Joy. I promise, I haven't forgotten. Good night, my boy. Love you. All right, say good night to aunties.
Night.
All right, and so and I just cannot speak enough to the difference in their attentiveness, their alertness, their energy levels, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. And so Justice, as I said, Justice only came to us in October. And Justice, because Justice has a lifelong condition, right? Managing personalities. Justice has Chiariano syndrome. And so he has a lifelong condition, and we're hoping to help him. We're hoping to help him. We've changed his diet, and we're doing what we can do. With COVID, we haven't been able to take him to see the specialists and things like that, and that's unfortunate. However, we're doing our best to manage on his condition. When he was with Mom, though, he was raised as if he were. He's not disabled, for sake of a better word.
Very cautious.
He's very cautious. However, he was raised as if he was disabled, so his muscles, he's so long and lanky, 12 years old, is quite tall and lanky. However, his muscles are fully underdeveloped, and yeah. So we've been working with him, and so he started out just very basic push-ups, jumping jacks as best as you're able, crunches. And his numbers were, I think, 5 push-ups, at a time. And so he comes into the gym to me there the other day, and he says to me, just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he says to me, Dad. And I said, what? He says, I can do 15 push-ups now. And I monitor all the kids, of course. And so I says, well, I tell you what, how about you give me 10 with good, tight form? And we'll go from there. Don't got to give me 15. Give me 10. And he got down, and yeah, he banged off 15 solid push-ups.
He was so proud of himself.
If you need more motivation than your kids to invest in your kids, let me give you this. Let me offer you this. When you're witness to your child accomplishing something that they've been working at for a time, and they get it, and then you know what? It's not all fairy tales and sunshine and roses. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's life. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's gonna die. It's life. You can't fail if you keep trying, right? However, when they have those moments of victory, you want to be a part of that, parents. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Because he got down and he gave me I did more push-ups than him. Good for you, Kara. Good for you, Fluffy. You did 20. I'm gonna have to let him know. And then maybe we can do a video of you doing your 20 and put it out as a challenge to him to motivate him to push for 20 next week. Thank you. Yes. And Diane, cousin Diane from Calgary, she said abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, I love how you spelt that. Right? I mean, you want to be a part of that when they accomplish something. You know, and they weren't perfect push-ups. And the thing is, because of the lack of strength and overall muscle development across the chest, the push-ups tend to be a little bit lopsided. As his jumping jacks, when we started out, they were more like doing one-sided running man. You know, he couldn't, you know. However, with continued work and encouragement and effort on his part, that is the key. The key to his success is his effort. That's it. I mean, there is no other secret to life. There is no Michael Jordan secret juice. There, I mean, you can do that. You can. There are cheats. You can now, in today's world that we live in, there are cheats. What I'm humbly suggesting is that they're not required. I mean, I don't know anything, cousin Diane. You'll appreciate this. That I don't know anything that hard work and prayer won't overcome. God is good.
Yeah.
Close what, my love?
Your
water bottle?
Yeah, it's making me nervous.
With you? Oh, I see. I got
yeah,
you.
you
Okay, I got you.
already knocked it over a couple times and it's... Sorry.
Let me get out the way. Let my wife have a voice here. Oh,
Yeah.
quick update. The lady on the bridge, I did a quick reach out to a lawyer friend of ours, and she's quite beside herself. She says that not only does she not have any information, yes, God is good all the time. Not only does she not have any information, she says the information that she did even share didn't even make the news, and that's quite upsetting to her. Go, my love.
Oh, are you guys a vegan family?
Oh, heck no. Vegan? Hey, if you vegan, God bless you. No, I mean...
I like my steaks.
I suggested to her that we might try vegetarian at some point, and she straight up just said, no, you can.
Yeah, no.
She's very fond of steak.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a carnivore. I enjoy meat. I could see myself later on in life once I'm really on I've decided that I saw a video of a gentleman, a very fit gentleman, the other day, and he was a bodybuilder and you know, and he's a big muscular guy and everything else, and that's not what I'm aspiring to. But he said that he'd put 15 years into his body. And I was like, wow, 15 years, man. Oh, 15 years, that means that I'm going to be 65. So I was like, okay. So I'm on a 15-year plan right now. And God willing, we'll see where that takes me at 65. And I think that maybe once I reach that point at 65, I think I might, I feel that as my wife has prophesied over my life, she says that at some point she sees me just becoming stoic. And I think that's fantastic because I aspire to that. And just speaking less. And I can see myself moving towards vegetarian, but not vegan. I would eat a lot more fruit. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of... We were doing that segment of fruit with Jordan, and there's just not a lot of fruit to choose from in the wintertime in Winnipeg. It's tragic. I'm hoping now that with the summer months coming up, I can get down into the markets down in Chinatown and so on and get some more exotic fruits to sample. But yeah, I can see myself as in a few, maybe about 10 years going vegan. Vegetarian. I don't think I'll go vegan though. I like cheese. And eggs and fish. I would keep white meat, fish, and maybe chicken, but lacto-ovo, which would mean that I would continue to drink milk, not dairy milk, but cheese and so on and so forth. Yeah, but no, not vegan. No, not even close. Love bacon, pork. Yeah, I eat me some pork. Yeah, I'm Jamaican and I eat me some pork. I'm not gonna lie, I eat the pork. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So back to the kids.
Yeah.
We were with the personalities. What I've What I like to do is actually spend time with them, and that's what I was trying to say. It's not demanding. It's that I have to arrange times to actually do one-on-one with each of the children because of all their personalities. They all have different needs. They have different activities that they like to do. So
True
by
story.
spending one-on-one, being engaged in what activity they're doing, like for especially the older ones, like they're pretty much independent, whatever. However, like with Jasmine, she's 16 going on 17, but once
16
in a while,
going on 25.
no, 17.
Yeah.
And so
Very mature. Very mature.
I go and lay in her bed with her, and it's like she still cuddles with me, but we kind of catch up on, okay, this is what I'd like, or this is what I'm doing, and so it's not putting pressure on her to just say, hey, what's going on. It's actually just spending time with her to either vent, and it's not
Say goodnight to
saying, asking the questions to kind of just pressure her into, oh, I want to know what's happening in your life. And Phoenix is more, she's kind of, oh, I love you. I like, Phoenix is very independent, very, very, very independent. Oh, Auntie said
Auntie
goodnight.
Diane said goodnight.
And she likes baking, cooking, whatever. However, lately she's been, because of the puppy, she's in the room with me. She's actively involved.
So the puppy. If you have a pet, you know that puppy training is very much like rearing a small child. Very much similar. Very similar. I'm not comparing the two or suggesting the level of importance. I'm saying that it is similar. We have Mercedes on a very good schedule. When we first got her at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock to go to the bathroom. And she's been very good. We've since moved her 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. She's been very, very good.
Yeah, very
And
good.
by we, I mean me and Phoenix. Because this one sleeps like a log. I mean, the dog is up on top of her head, sleeping across her head like this. And she's just like, and then every once in a while, yeah, I love my wife, I love my wife. Every once in a while, and she'll wake herself up.
I don't even know what happens.
and the dog, and she'll wake the dog up, she'll wake herself, and she'll look at me, and the dog will look at me. I'm like, what? Wasn't me. It's fine, baby. You can handle it.
So yeah, so it's like just spending time with each. Oh, you're right in here, huh? Good night.
Except don't keep the paper. Take the paper off, and you can keep the straws, but don't keep the paper.
Our little art scavenger.
You can't throw nothing out in the recycling bin. She's in the recycling bin scavenging every night. Oh, I love you so much. Say goodnight to aunties.
Right.
All right. To
Got
Mercedes.
hiccups still.
Yeah, she gets the hiccups all the time. That this little dog. I don't understand that. Love you. Good night. Yeah. Personalities. But if you want to talk about personalities, we cannot talk about personalities unless we talked about Phoenix. Yeah, you want to talk about a dominant personality. Auntie Joey said night night. Auntie Diane said good night. You want to talk about a dominant personality. And so the thing is with Phoenix is that she is very assertive. Nah, she's a bully.
Assertive.
She started out as a bully, and we're trying to teach her to be assertive. Because, we identified very early in her leadership qualities. And so we have conversations that sound like this. Phoenix, why do people yell? Because it works. Yeah, it's a true story. However, if people fear you, they'll do what you want them to do. I says, if they love you, they'll do what you want them to do, and they'll also die for you. So it's up to you to choose what kind of leader you want to be, because you will be a leader. So what type of leader do you choose to be? Do you want to be feared, or do you want to be loved? I once had a girl ask me, said, do you want to be loved, or do you want to be right? Good night, baby. Years ago, you want to be loved, or do you want to be right? And I was like, I guess I'm not winning this argument. So when it comes to managing personalities, you absolutely cannot paint the canvas with the same brush. There's just too many personalities. When Jordan came, Noah had to find his way with the kids. Joey, that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that's funny, Fluffy. That's funny. Noah had to find his way with the kids, and Noah was able to form a very tight relationship with his sister Jasmine. Those two became besties very quickly. And it was fortuitous, because when her older brother Cadence left, that created a huge void in her life that he just kind of slipped right in to fill. And so that was fantastic. And so now when Jordan came, it was really awkward. It was really, really awkward, because like Jordan is not Noah. And they all thought, oh, it's just another big, goofy, silly guy that we can climb on and punch on and joke with. And nah. Number one, Jordan don't like to be touched. True story. So that's the first thing, right? and so it's been so fulfilling watching him and Jasmine, especially because they're of an age, find their way.
And it was also that he was brought up more in an individualistic home,
setting,
instead of like where we're
touch one, touch all.
Yeah. So the adapting from, just being it's not
all
selfish.
about me.
Yeah, it's like all about me, my needs, my wants.
That's correct.
What can you do for me? But I can't do that for you. So now he's actually involved in with the girls, and with the girls, like the girls will help with laundry, whatever, and he asks, and then he'll offer to help somewhere in an area that they may need. And those are the things that we really enjoy seeing.
Yeah.
It's like, because we put in the work, but it's like sometimes they take a little bit longer. However, just with the consistency and talking about it,
Right.
there's a little bit of change and just more
Growth
and cohesiveness within
Yes,
the
lovely.
family.
Lovely.
Within the family.
And Jasmine called my role a couple of years ago. She called my role beautifully to her mom. She says that Ian, it says that I figured out he just kind of check on everybody, make sure everybody's all right. And I do check-ins with everybody regularly. And if there's a problem, I send in the boss. I said, Mom, I think you might want to go talk to so-and-so, or you might want to go talk. And like this evening, for instance, Justice had a headache at the supper table, and he just wasn't himself. And it was like, you all right? And he's trying to champ it out and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, come on, let's go talk to Mom. And I took him in the back, and we went and talked and figured out he had a headache. And so he didn't get much sleep last night, whatever. So put him to bed early, da-da-da-da-da. So, that's just the idea, is that, I check in with everybody regularly. Like, I'll go into Winnie's room, I'll knock on her door, I'll poke my head in, and what's up? What's going on? How you doing? Where you at? How come you ain't painting pictures for me no more?
Why aren't you painting? Why aren't you out here? Why aren't you? Yeah.
You do it. Checking on your kids, checking on them, checking on their mental health. I saw something beautiful just the other day that this young girl, she said that she grew up in a home. Her mom was awesome. Said that she offered her and her sibs mental health days at least as often as they needed them. So one day they'd get up at school and they just always seemed to know when the kids were a little bit run down, and it's like all of a sudden it's like, you know what, today's a snow day, and they would stay home from work as well, and they would pour into their kids and they would have a family day. And the blessing in all of this has been for us, and during this COVID pandemic, if you would, has been that we have been able to be home as a family. Even Jordan, who had struggled with this initially, because he's the teenage boy and this is his grade 12 year and so on and so forth, and that I feel so bad for him. He's at the point now, he's like, I get to stay home from school, hang out with my family. No, I'm good. And it's just really brought us together closer. As she says, we're more cohesive because teamwork makes the dream work, and we are absolutely committed to that. And we're only, as the other Justice didn't have to, everybody was late into gym the other morning, except Justice. And as a result, as I said, everybody had to run 3 laps, except for Justice. And so when it came time, though, it was like Justice was like, Ryder was like, okay, I gotta go run my laps, and that's his buddy. Those two are, peas in a pod. They don't do nothing without each other. So it's like, Justice, you coming? And he's like, Dad, I thought. And I was like, oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. You were the only one that was on time, so you are not required to run those laps. And then I thought on it, and I said, having said that, teamwork makes the dream work, and we're only as strong as our weakest link. So I think that you should run these laps with Ryder because I know that he would run them with you. And so the two of them went about running their laps. And that's how we do it in the Simpson family home.
It's a run and talk time.
Those two. Just as me and Mom went walking the other day, and then Jordan saw us walking, and he's like, you moving pretty good. It's like, well, what you think we out here doing? We walk. and he's like, well, do you guys talk? Nobody got no time to talk. We out here walking. He said, she's listening to her music, I'm listening to my music, and we walking. And then there's Justice and Ryder. And they running, they jogging. And the whole time, and some days we run the 5 laps, 7.5K. The whole time they just chattering to each other, blah, 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 just back and forth, and they running. And blah, 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 blah. I don't know how they have the energy to do it, but they do. Please tell me I'm not the. Joey says, please tell me I'm not the only one who has a sibling rivalry. Is it a boy thing? Because everything is a competition. As well, it should be. That's life. Life is a competition. The only thing we do is we officiate.
Pretty much. That's it.
We don't get involved unless we have to.
Yeah, we'll allow them to work it out.
Yeah.
And girls are pretty catty.
Wow.
Like I told them this. Sometimes it's like you're hearing 2 cats fighting in a room. And I was like, wow.
So Phoenix and Jasmine.
Yeah.
They're sitting there. Jasmine in the kitchen. Phoenix is sitting here. And they get going at each other, and I'm like, I'm observing this, and I just and then Phoenix, Jasmine, and Jasmine doesn't get as animated or anything as Phoenix, but Phoenix, Jasmine is the big dog. Jasmine don't get off the porch. She recognizes her position in the family. There's no need for her to get off the porch and go interact with her baby sister. So Jasmine just be like, and so I'm watching this, and I says to Phoenix, I says, that's the most interesting thing I've ever seen. You guys are arguing the same point. You're on the same side of discussion, but you're standing there arguing. I said, I've never seen something like that. I haven't. And Jasmine just rolled her eyes, said, it's her, and walked away. I'm like, they're saying the exact same thing, yet they're arguing. Mm-hmm. Girls.
So, yeah, I think for me, girls are sibling rivalry, because even when it comes to clothing, it comes to, oh, why did you buy her this? Why didn't I get this? And it's now I've come to where it's touch one, touch all. Yeah. Unfortunately, it gets quite pricey, but
we serve a living God.
It's fairness, and with the boys, I don't really see it too much.
No.
I think for Ryder and Justice, because they share a room. However,
they get into it from time to time. They get annoyed. They get annoyed with one another.
They go to their separate whatever.
Neutral corners.
And they
work it out.
And I always tell them, I said, if there's something that I need to know, tell me, so that I can help you deal with it. If it gets too big, I can come in and help you. However, it's for them to work out their relationships, because what we said and what we have done is that we don't because of the blended family, it's not his children or my children, it's our children. And if we pick sides on a fight, that just creates division within the family unit. So we talk to each one of them and make them work it out.
And here was one that was really tough for Ryder, especially because it was like the idea that, hey man, you can't keep secrets for your brother. I know that's your best buddy and everything else, but no, you can't keep secrets from him. I mean, if there's something that we need to know, we need to know. And so that Ryder screwed up his courage. It's like, he wasn't happy because, snitches get stitches, right? That's a part of it too. That's a part of it too. And he was like, Justice is not doing his push-ups. He's not downstairs practicing when he should be. And when I say, let's go practice, he just ignores me. Hardest thing he had to do. Hardest thing he had to do. But he had to do it because he loved his brother and he wants to see him succeed.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
So, in my opinion, he did the right thing. And so, and here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about teamwork. Hold yourself accountable. And I mean, this is what I used to tell my charges when I was coaching. If you need inspiration and motivation for working hard, look at your teammate beside you. See how hard they're working and ask yourself why you're not working at least as hard as them. Accountability matters. And so the idea that, Ryder works, and you'll see, Ryder works as hard as he does, and one of his sibs is dogging it, doesn't sit well with any of the kids, as a matter of fact. Just the other day, Jordan called out his younger sisters because, we do a different type of workout than what they do. Ours involves a little bit more heavy lifting, and they're still working at calisthenics, push-ups, and sit-ups, right? And so the workouts are different. And so he's like, it never occurred to you, like, how we do 3 sets, they do 3 sets, and they're always done by the time we're done just one set. And I mean, that never occurred to you. And I'm like... It's baby. What do you want? What do you want me to do? What do you want? I know that she's not doing her push-ups. Damn it! I know it.
But it's the accountability piece.
Yeah, and so it had to be dealt with. It had to be dealt with. Accountability is it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. It's required when you are trying to be a person of moral integrity and character, and when you are trying to be good, godly, and kind. Accountability is a must. So we hold our children accountable. And we hold ourselves accountable. Like we said, nobody don't hit no passes.
No, and I think we're kind of lucky that our children are very engaged and willing to try new things. Because with change, a lot of people don't do change well. And some of them don't do change well. However...
with consistency.
And also speaking with them.
Right.
And, going to their level and saying, hey, how does this make you feel? Because one of the main things, though, that I've always tried to consistently go over is, what are you feeling?
Right. That's what she's working through with Justice right now. And these are completely new concepts for him to express his feelings. And so she's gently working him through that process now. How does this make you feel? And it's working. I'm watching my wife work, and she's very good at her job. I social work for 13 and a half years. She's amazing at what she does. Absolutely amazing. I see her working her magic on all our children, and she is amazing at what she does.
So we're just sorry, baby.
What?
I don't know. You
Just
just like
drinking my
casually drink your water.
What? Take a sip of water over here.
I know. Yeah. So, we have, I think we have, would it be maybe the 4 younger ones? The 4 youngest ones. We have one. He has at least one diagnosed with a learning disability.
Correct.
One has a diagnosis of ADHD and I think possibly oppositional defiance disorder.
No,
Well, I
that's
don't know
made up.
that's a possible.
It's
I
made up.
read the.
It's made up.
However-
he's diagnosed as such, but his
No,
mom,
I checked the wording.
his
It's
mom and his doctor made it up to try to keep him from coming into our
And
custody.
then,
and it didn't work.
the.
That's the truth of the matter. It's made
Yeah.
up.
And then we're having the other two explored for other learning disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting because the. You okay?
So you good? He come and snuck in, and GK Jordan. Fluffy the Bee says, I have ADHD. Is that right? Oh, wow. Okay, there you are. And we think that Justice might as well, Fluffy. We think that Justice might, or something similar. However, no, he is diagnosed as having, sorry, you said that. He is
Yeah.
diagnosed as ADHD. Justice is diagnosed as ADHD. Correct.
Yeah, and then so our two younger ones who are 8 and 10 do show something. So we're having that explored because you can see it in their schoolwork, you can see it in their attention span, you
Right.
can see it, and that's where we see the fitness actually has improved some of the attention
Cognitive
span.
abilities.
No, the attention span.
Yeah.
Like they're able now. They burst of energy. They've wasted some of that pent up energy, and then they're able to sit for a period of time without fidgeting, without being distracted, except for Callie.
But she's working on it. And she's getting very good.
She's very engaged,
Yeah.
and so it's just being aware of what is going on with the children, and how can we help as parents to manage a lot of the. Thank you. Thank you, baby.
Diane said, I love the way you honor your wife. And if you have been that way since the beginning of your relationship, that's wonderful. And I'm praying to God that you continue to do so. It's beautiful to see. May I?
Yeah.
She's my best friend. She's my best friend, and she's the best person I know. And how could I not honor her? I mean, I spent a lifetime praying for her, and I didn't know that it was her in the person. However, I spent a life, and I mean, some people go their whole life and never connect with their soulmate. Right? Some people, and it's a tragedy, and some of us, we get lucky.
Settle. Yeah.
I settled for 25 years.
No, and that's why I was like, either you don't or you settle, or
and that's not. I'm not suggesting anything about the present. I'm just saying that I Uncle Stan in Toronto when we went out there when my mom got married a couple of years ago. We went out there, and Uncle Stan, I was talking to Uncle Stan about my wife, and I said, yeah, she's my best. And I just met Uncle Stan, he's from London, and he looked at me and he just had that wise smile. The older often have that smile that just exudes wisdom. And he looked at me and he said, she's your portion indeed. And I said, glory to God, she certainly is. She is my portion in life. And that I truly love you guys, and I fully for you because it's not easy. But I love what I see, and thank you. We love you too.
It's that mutual. And actually, I was talking about you. When was that? That was about a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, we should just go to Calgary. Should go visit. And then he goes, all the kids, and I'm like, who's talking about the kids? I'm like, you and
I'm always in that place when I'm thinking, we talk about anything. It's like it's easier to just bring people to us because we travel so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and I was like, I automatically, but the kids, and she's like, no, just me and you. I'm like, yeah, but what we gonna do with the kids?
See, come.
Right?
I knew that would be.
Soon. Summer's coming, so yeah.
Yeah, for us, it's no matter what the children's personalities, we also have personalities, and so we
honor that.
Yeah, like he has, he's very outgoing, very outspoken, and I'm
loud.
kind of, quieter, and I'm kind of gaining my voice, but I'm staying within my comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And it works. And it's just recognizing who he is and what he's capable of, and what he's overcome, and just be proud and happy to be part of his life, because who else is going to be honest with me? Who else is going to be raw? Who else is going to stand by my side? But most importantly, who's going to protect me? And that's yeah, he is. And so it's not a real protection thing, but it is for me, because coming from a life of where I came from, it's very important for me, and especially in somebody to stand by me and actually stand by me, and not allow people to push my boundaries when I have that fear of standing up for myself. But
I got her.
you got me, baby.
I got her. She is my portion indeed, and I love her to death.
So it's a very fun journey.
And
Yeah, like our journey together has been, yes, quickly evolving. However, we adapt quickly. We come together and say, hey, what can I do? And it's not, oh, you do this. It's like, what can I do to help you, or what can I do
To help us.
Because it's not like sacrificing anything, but it's more just being.
What is Justice scared of? Let us think on that. He's pretty.
Well,
solid.
I know. However, that's something he'd have to share for himself,
Right,
because that's one of those very
personal
things.
Oh, Leanne. Hi, Leanne. God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. And I want to say this. It works because we work at it. It's not just coincidental. It works. Our relationship works because we work at it. We're constantly working at our relationship. And the best thing about that is that the children recognize the importance of that, and they honor it. Mm-hmm. They honor our date night. They honor our spending as much time together as we do. They honor it, and they actually see the value in it, so they encourage it. Mm-hmm. Right? So it works because we work at it. And her best feature when I first met her, her single greatest feature, her single best feature, my wife's single best feature, she speaks life. No matter what I do, she just, from the day I met her, she spoke life into me. And I've been blossoming and growing ever since. And I mean, that is just so fundamentally important, because I came from a place where that wasn't the case. It was actually the opposite, where my partner would made every effort to. Whoa, that's a mouthful. Sorry. My partner made every effort to actually destroy me. And so to be in a situation where somebody speaks life, wow. Here's a free piece of advice. You can't build with somebody that's not willing to help you carry the bricks. I'm done. What did Joey have to say?
She's sharing a for the siblings, right?
Don't be sorry, Joey. Don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry. So it's like the two youngest, they would die for each other. The two youngest share a bus together. The bully on the bus came up to her son and called him an Indian. The blood was boiling, I asked my other son, what did you do to protect him? His answer was, I told him, he's not an Indian, he's indigenous. I told him to spell that, dummy, and walked away. Walked away after spelling it to him. I was very proud of him, considering he's only 8, and these two battle all the time as the babies of the family, but we definitely have a convo about it, and a call was put into the school pronto.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And we encourage our children that if something is happening to one of their siblings, is to stand up for them.
And not only for their sibling, if there's or
even another person that's in need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't be that person that just stands and watches as injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Don't be that person that's going to, and there you have no obligation to put yourself in danger, to put yourself at risk. However, sometimes it's enough to say, hey, I see you, and that's not okay. You know? And again, Joey, I have some ideas on that. So
We're
please,
gonna cut out all this, okay.
again, if you're in the city, reach out because I want to sit down. We're about to cut out on the gram in 20, 30 seconds, but we're going to continue over here. If anybody wants to jump over onto either, follow the link and you can join us on either YouTube or Facebook as well. And we're going to lose the gram. So I'll say goodnight to the gram. God bless you. And we appreciate you so much. And we'll continue over here. Go ahead, my love. Managing personalities.
Yeah, and sorry, yeah, and yeah, I would like to sit down with Joey and actually see what's going on there because, however, with the kids, like I said, it's important that they do stand up for one another.
Absolutely.
And so I'm proud of your little guy just for also correcting him on the terminology because
That's huge.
That is a big thing.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, it's not shared with the public. And I'd like to see those two little guys, like her two boys, just to see where just the dynamics. But we'll chat. Okay.
Okay, Joey.
Yeah.
No problem. And I mean, I think that the one of the more important things that I'd like to say before if nothing else comes out of this is that we've been in counseling throughout this whole pandemic. We were fortunate enough to it's important. Mental health is important. And one of the things that Selena Aubrey from where is she now, sweetheart? New Direction. She is fantastic, and it's just about creating a safe space for my family to occupy. Right, creating a safe space for my children to grow because everybody has that fundamental desire, that need to feel safe. Right, Maslow's pyramid of actuality on the first level, is the desire, the fundamental need to feel safe, and that never changes. I mean, as your toddler learns to walk, and they'll explore more and more into the world. However, continually they're forever looking over their shoulder, and your job is to ensure that you're always there when they look. That's what I think my job as a parent is. I'm just, I'm a gardener. I don't consider myself anything but that. We plant seeds. We plant the seeds, cousin Di, and we allow the Holy Spirit to do the work. And then once the garden is in bloom, then God does the pruning. So I consider myself to be a gardener, and that's the work for me, is to plant the seeds. Plant the seeds. So I continually go about God's work of planting seeds and allow the Spirit to nourish it. And then once it breaks the surface, God to prune it. Right? And so, just creating a space. And in my personal growth, it was hard because with the bigger boys now, Jordan and Noah, they're very strong-willed, pig-headed, if you would. Right? Pig-headed, if you would. And so it was very, and the thing is, how I communicate with Jordan, or Noah, I couldn't communicate that way with Jordan. It didn't work. And oddly enough, the way I used to communicate with Noah, I can't communicate that way with Noah anymore. He grown. He let us know on certain terms that he didn't want to work out with the family anymore, and he grown. I mean, we have to give him the space to grow into his manhood. We don't have to like the decisions that our children make. We don't. It's not our job to like decisions that they make. It's more our job to honor their right to make those choices, especially when they're getting into adulthood. We advise, we suggest, we insist that the children have a voice. We insist on it. I mean, I have daughters now, and I'm just, here's this. Right? Here's this. It says, I saw a post on Facebook. It says that, and you've heard this, and I can't say this enough. It says that, fellas, this is for you. If you got a daughter, close your eyes. And imagine your daughter that's dating somebody that's exactly like you. Did you smile? good, carry on. If you didn't, change. And I mean, it's really just that simple. I would rather empower my daughters to have a voice now and make good choices and model what a good partner should be in the way I treat their mom. I would rather do that now than have to go to jail for them in 20 years because some fool decided to put his hands on my babies. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. We have those conversations. I say, yeah, I know I'm hard on you, babies. I know. But I'd rather be hard on you and let you model growing like your mom than have to go to jail for you in 20 years. We keeps it real over here in the Simpson home. We do. Mm-hmm. And equally as important for our daughters to model their mom's behavior on how to be a lady, and they have they have a terrific example in that. Equally as important for our daughters to model their mom's behavior on how to be a lady. It's also equally as important for our sons to model and behave like gentlemen. Equally important.
Yeah, because like Jordan, because
we'll hold doors.
Yeah, he'll hold the door for me. He'll open the door to the vehicle when I'm coming. And, if I need a bag held, he'll hold my bag. And, yeah.
Ain't never once presumed to take the front seat of the automobile if she was around. Noah Jordan, not once would they presume to try to slide into the front seat when she's around. The best advice Elder Reed from our old church gave her, because she was about to give up her kids out of respect. It's Elder Reed, the elder from the church. Out of respect, she was going to give him the front seat, the captain's seat as I was driving, or the jump seat as I was driving. And Elder Reed said, "No, Mrs. No, that's your seat. And you don't bother make nobody move your tight." Oh my goodness. And ultimately, we are committed to the idea of crushing generational curses. We attack them with extreme prejudice. Whatever it was that ran in my family before me ends with me. I have issues with anger management. I'm working on it. I have commitment issues and abandonment issues. I'm working on it. I have an injured child within myself that needs to come to the light and mature and grow into and feel safe. I'm working on it. Every day.
And that's the thing about growing is that when you recognize what needs to be done, it's a lifelong.
Here come Jasmine and GQ Jordy. The two of them were hiding out in her room, and I think Fifi might be in there too. The three of them was in there watching movies. Right? It's just cool, man. It's like it's the Simpson family home, right?
Yeah. So what was I saying, baby?
I'm sorry, my love.
Yeah.
When you recognize within yourself.
Yeah, when you recognize what's going on within yourself, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to do something about it. And it's not just, I'll take a quick course here,
Hey, Carla,
it's
God
a
bless you.
lifelong journey to heal. It doesn't just say, okay, well, I'm going to do this for this, this amount of time. Because within that lifespan, it also requires, as much time to actually heal. Mm-hmm. There's never an instant quick fix, and because it's something like even AA.
Yeah.
My dad was talking about this the other day, and he was like, yeah, if you're, have an alcohol addiction, you just don't go to AA, once or twice. He said you actually go to AA once or twice a week for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life, because it's an ongoing problem. I mean, I'm a recovering addict. I'll never consider myself a recovered addict. I'm a recovering addict. And,
So it's for us to show our children what we go through, and what even just owning up to what we have done as young parents, because we were pretty much
survival mode.
Survival, yeah.
Parenting on survival.
And so just that open communication and say, hey, yeah, life is not fair, life is not perfect. However, we can work towards it, and not just accepting of something that, oh, it is what it is. No, you can have whatever it is that you want. So
Yeah. I mean, the idea, quite simply, is this. I mean, we insist that our children are active participants in their lives. We insist on it. We insist that they are actively engaged in decision-making processes that affect them. And granted that though that responsibility changes as you go from the 8-year-old to the 22-year-old, obviously, right? I mean, Baby Blue is not going to have as much input into her day-to-day life as Noah would. However, we do empower her to make those choices. So she silverbacked me this evening. You weren't here. Oh. She silverbacked me. There's this great meme of a silverback gorilla. There's in the zoo. It says it when baby decided to go tell daddy or something. And
yeah, that's...
and she silverbacked me tonight because her and Fifi told her that she had to do something, and I backed up Fifi. How dare I? And she went by Fifi, and she actually put a shoulder into Phoenix, bam, and I did. And Phoenix like, don't shoulder me, as if she couldn't handle it. Phoenix only did that because she knew that I would respond to that because, your right to swing your arms ends in another person's person. Mm-hmm. So she knew I would respond to that. So Phoenix jumped on it. Don't push me. She's trying to get baby in trouble, and baby goes silverback in.
All this while I was in class.
All these personalities. Girls. Oh my God, it's beautiful. All these personalities to manage, and the women in my life are so strong. Mm-hmm. They're so strong. Every one of them, they're so strong. Right? And it's so... And, here's something I wanted to say, because, I mean, we're a blended family. And the dad thing, right? The mom and dad thing. Now, obviously, the boys that I brought to the relationship all call me dad. Obviously, the kids that she brought all call her mom. And so now that's where it gets a little blurry, because now baby now decided that she was going to call me dad on her 7th birthday. And she started playing with it, and she was back and forth a little bit, and then it just kind of, that's it. Bucky now decided that once baby started, Bucky decided a year later that she was going to give it a try. So it was on her 9th birthday, I believe it was, that Bucky tried it on. And again, she went back and forth a little bit. And now that's just what it is. The two youngest, they're the only two. Now, the thing is that I don't require that. I don't require that affirmation for them to say. And that's important to me, because as a child, I was in a situation where the woman that was taking care of me was actually literally trying to beat me into calling her mom. And I just refused. It was my half-sister's mom, Miss Pam. And I just refused. As a child, it's interesting the battles that you pick and choose, because, I mean, she was very abusive. And it was a terrible time in my life. However, it was the one battle that I won. It was so weird that one battle was so important to me, because for whatever reason, I just had it in my mind that, my mom loved me, and if you loved me, you wouldn't be beating on me like this. So the idea is that I say that to say this. It's very important to me that if they should ever do that, I receive it. But it's not necessary. It has to be their choice. And so we are very committed to the idea that they have the right to choose. They have a voice. They find their voice. They use their voice. The only time I get hurt feelings is when they want to just use their voice against me. But it's fine. I'm dad. I got big, broad shoulders. It's fine. I got this. We got this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like the boys don't call me mom. Once in a while, Noah it will come out.
He refers to his mom in the third person.
Yeah.
That's mom's.
Yeah. However, for us, it is we don't make a big deal out of it. No. We just let it all happen naturally, right. Or and then when we're together alone, we're just like, oh, did you hear that? Kind of thing. We get excited when we're by ourselves.
I usually cry, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. However, no, for us, it's we just make it our own.
Yeah.
But the one thing is that we refer to, go and ask dad, go and ask mom,
Yeah.
because it just seems awkward. Oh, you go ask dad, but you go ask Ian.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
It's all
mom and dad.
mom and dad, but they call him Ian, like Jasmine and Phoenix, and it just works for us.
And every once in a while I used to sing to Fee. I'd be like, Fifi, do you love me? Are you right? And she'd just get all shy. And so I don't, you know, and I mean, you know, I remember the first time Jasmine said that she loved me. It was at our wedding. And it was, I cried, what do you, leave me alone, damn it, I'm emotional.
And now, Fifi, love you. Bye.
And it's so interesting because the boys, the boys I brought to the relationship, the older boys, it's just so, they're just so emotionally stunted from the trauma of the previous relationship. It's not easy. Like Noah now is at the point where punch in the arm. Jordan, and Justice straight up, I'm not there yet. Straight up. Just straight up, I'm not there yet. And it's fine, you know, because it's words and actions, right? I mean, you can tell me you love me, like, you know, you can tell me you love me and be beating on me, right? Or you can not tell me you love me and treat me like a king. Words and actions. Right? Joey said, "Yep, us, yes, yep." Us two over here, and if you listen closely around friends, we are always mom and dad. Yeah, when they speak, when they speak of you in the third person, like that's what she was saying with Noah. No, don't eat that. That's mom's. But then it's Rachel, and with Justice especially, I can see him. Noah and Jordan, probably not. They're 22 and 18, 16 respectively. Justice though, he's 12, right? I mean, they get closer and closer every day. Every day they're closer and closer, and you know, it's that hard work that she's doing with him to get him to identify feelings and emotions. And I mean, it's just so interesting because, you know, Selena told us that, you know, we because like every once in a while he'll bring up something that's just really hard to hear from, you know, the previous with when he was living with his mom, with his bio mother, with Michelle. And it's not always easy for me to hear that. And the other day he brought something up, and I just, you know, what happens is I have a physical reaction because like that small child inside of me that endured that abuse is just so absolutely indignant. And I was dishing out supper the other day. Do you remember what it was that he said, baby?
No, it doesn't matter. However,
so I was triggered, and I had to leave, and I went into the bedroom, and then she caught me, and you know, my little guy was just screaming, like I was just like, it was just so unjust and unfair, and yeah, so the thing is though, Selena says prepared us for that. It's like, you know, he's gonna start bringing things up, and it's his way of you know, because that was the norm for him, and it's his way of saying, hey, this happened? Is this okay? Is this okay that this happened? Because, you know, that's all I've ever really known. And it's like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But we're doing the hard work, you know. We're doing the hard work. Try to ensure that they have a chance at a quality of life. Mental health is so important. So important.
Well, baby.
So I think
it's 118.
It's not 118.
I know. It's, you know what I mean, though.
And so we've been at this for close to an hour and a half now. So I think that we want to try to wrap it up. Let me get out the way for a quick minute. I'll take the final word, but I'll give you an opportunity to get your last thoughts.
So it's just what we, you know, just the personalities. And as parents, yes, we are going to get it wrong, you know, early years or the first child. However, it just takes practice and getting to know who the child is as an individual, because without that relationship, you know, by building a relationship with your child and who they are instead of who you want them to be, that will just lessen the conflict.
Yep.
And so personalities do matter. Spending time with them one-on-one does matter. And also as parents, modeling for them, you know, what you want to see out of them as well. Or, you know, what can be. So go ahead, baby.
The idea of parenting in the do as I say, not as I do style. And I think that that's pretty much how, as Jamaicans, we were raised. You know, your parents do as I say, not as I do. It's a brave new world. It's a modern era. Children have opinions. They have personalities. They have, you know, they have access to the internet, and they have a cable TV where they can see how these entitled children behave and so on and so forth. And that's one thing we don't allow in our home. Entitlement. What's the other one? Unappreciative. Like you can't. You never get a pass on being entitled or being unappreciative. You never get a chance. You never get a pass on, and that's very important to me because as a child, I came from nothing. I can say that I came from nothing. I mean, growing up in Jamaica, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot, right? And so there was a time in my life when I said that I wanted to give my children all the things that I never had, and I actively engaged in trying to do that, and that's wrong. That's wrong. The only thing you need to give your child is, and here, I don't mean to sound judgmental or preachy or anything like that. This is only my opinion. The only thing you need to give your child is your time. Is your time. When I look back, that's the only thing I ever wanted from my parent. Was it just his time, my father's time? That's all I wanted. I spent the great majority of my life trying to just be noticed, be seen. And don't get me wrong, this is not a knock against it's not a knock against my father. I love him dearly. He did the best as he could. He had responsibility. He had to keep us alive. He was working. He did the best that he could, right? He didn't know he was creating trauma, and he certainly didn't intend to create trauma. That's not what this is. You know, it's just all the more reason for you to explore these things, because I mean, these emotions, they can be so confusing, because you know your father and your parent is working so hard just to keep you alive, made this decision to bring you to this country, and I mean, and it created trauma. They didn't know. They didn't intend that. Be present. Carla said, yeah, all your children need is your time. Be present. Be engaged. And listen to your children. Because if you want them to tell you the tough stuff later on, you got to listen to them now. You know, put down whatever it is that you're doing. I read that when I was locked up. You know, AAA parenting. You just whatever it is. Triple P. Thank you, baby. Triple P. You've administered the course. I've taken it. Just whatever it is that you're doing in the moment, put it down and give your child the undivided attention. Let them feel that they're the most important person in the world for that 30 seconds. And you will reap the reward. You will reap the benefits of that for years to come. True story. The last thing I wanted to say is that be gentle and kind with yourself. I mean, patience is so important simply because it took me 45 years to become the person that I was, and I realized that after 45 years that I didn't much care for that person. So I made a change. And it is my sincerest hope, and I have faith that it will not take me 45 years to unbecome that person. So I would just say be gentle with yourselves and be kind. Good night, guys. Continue to take care of each other. We most certainly will.
Yes, good night.
Good
we'll
night.
See you on, what is
today? Today, the days just go by so
Thursday.
fast. Today's Thursday already. The kids don't have school tomorrow.
So maybe Monday.
What do you mean Monday?
Monday.
You're taking
Sunday.
No, we're back on Real Talk tomorrow, and then we'll take Saturday off, and then we're back for the Word on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, we go Monday to Friday over here.
Weekend.
You're trying to do a long weekend.
Trying to take a work day off.
You had a mental health day yesterday.
Hey.
You need another one?
Yeah.
Take as many as you need, baby. You take as many as you need. God bless and keep you. We appreciate you so much. This has been Real Talk with the Simpson family. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. You can help us. Support us by like, share, comment, and that will help us to reach other people, to reach more people, to share the good news. Because the only axe I got to grind in this is to let you know about the goodness of